Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking Naturium, the skincare line by Susan Yara, taking a look at the brand 6 months after it's launched, what's changed, what new products have been launched, how things have developed, and ultimately working out whether there's a space for this skincare line in your routine. Now, if you remember 6 months back, Susan Yara came under a lot of flack and controversy for the way that she launched this brand. She was heavily promoting the products without disclosing that she was actually the owner and involved in the company, which is just a huge no-no when it comes to transparency. That led to a lot of people turning off from the brand and saying they won't be supporting it or buying products from Naturium. I very much bought into that ethos and thought, actually, if I don't trust the brand, I don't really want to be supporting it with my dollars and my pounds. However, I do believe everyone gets a second chance in life, and 6 months later, let's have a look how things have changed and whether Naturium as a skincare line is worthy of a second look. I did a whole unbiased review, putting aside the controversy, the scandal, and the thoughts there on the brands when they first launched, which I'll leave a link to there if you do want to check it out. But so much has changed since, so let's get straight into it and look what's happened in the last 6 months. First of all, before we get into the content of the video, I would just like to say it's personal choice whether you choose to support this brand. I do totally understand, some of the issues and ethics around the launch have turned people off for life. I personally think everything deserves a second chance, and I will be taking an unbiased look at what's happened since that launch and some of the new products which have been brought to market by Naturium. However, if you still don't want to give this brand your dollars, your pounds, and your euros, I totally understand that, and that's a personal decision. I'm coming at this from an unbiased view, and I'm not here to influence your decisions on whether you want to purchase something or not. That is totally down to you. Now, let's start off with the new products that Naturium have brought to market. It has been a busy 6 months for this brand. They have been launching a new product on average every 3 weeks. That's almost unheard of when it comes to skincare brands that tend to do drops of new products all in one go, or tend to just do 1 or 2 a year. We're getting a new product from Naturium every 3 weeks on average, and it's really hard to keep up with the launches. Some of the new launches have been ding ding ding, absolutely fantastic, and I'm really grateful to see these products being brought to market. Some I think are a little bit on the cash cow side, where the brand knows these types of products are popular and sell, and so they've been brought to market to capitalize on that rather than bringing anything innovative or new. I don't actually think all products need to have innovation and newness associated with them. I never blame brands for including products which they think will sell well and which are popular, but I do think some of the formulations, I'll come on to in a little bit more detail, aren't the best, and maybe we're a little bit hurried. But in the spirit of positivity, let's start with the best products. And my number one new launch from them has to be their azelaic acid 12% serum. You guys know I love azelaic acid. I think it's a fantastic calming and soothing acid to include in your skincare routine. It will help tone down any redness and irritation that you get. This one's beautifully formulated. I think if you have super sensitive skin, you might want to go for something a little on the gentler side, maybe a 5% azelaic acid, but for everyone else, I think this is a really good strength. It's also got some other calming ingredients in there, which just makes this a perfect serum for anyone suffering with some redness, maybe some irritation, and some skin sensitivity. I love this product, and so many azelaic acids are sold out. The ordinary azelaic acid comes in stock, then sells out like that, and then you've got to wait another month for it to come back in stock. The Garden of Wisdom, which is another firm favourite of mine, is always in and out of stock as well. This one has been continually in stock since it's launched, which I really like, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting a product in your routine that you love and really enjoy and then finding it out of stock when you come to repurchase it. So I really like that about this product, and I think it's beautifully formulated. I also really like their alpha arbutin. They launched a standalone 2% alpha arbutin, which some people have said is a copycat of the ordinary 2% alpha arbutin, but I don't actually think that's the case, because this has a very different texture. This is much more gel-like than the ordinary, which is much more water-based, and actually I think this is really nice for targeting those areas of stubborn pigmentation that you might have. Gels work much better, serums and gels work much better than watery-based products, in my opinion, because they allow you to target those areas without it running and bleeding into the other areas. I really like this alpha arbutin serum, and I think it's a fantastic addition to the routine. I also love their latest launch, which is a cleanser which has much more of a jelly consistency than their previous nutrient-rich cleanser, which was okay. It was a product for me when it first launched. This jelly cleanser is really great. It's super hydrating, yet it gets off all the dirt, the debris, and the SPF, which is what you want in a cleanser, but doesn't leave you too stripped or dry. This is a perfect cleanser for people with normal, combination, or combination dry skin. The only people I think couldn't use it are people with very dry skin, and if you're super sensitive, you might want to look for something a little bit more hydrating. But for everyone else, this is a perfect option for a cleanser. Finally, for those new launches, which I think are fantastic, is their glycolic acid exfoliators, which now come in two different strengths, an 8% and a 10%. I know a lot of people think there's not a huge difference between an 8% strength and a 10%, but there really is when it comes to how often you can use the product and the sort of results you're going to get from it. I really recommend someone go for a 6, a 7, or an 8% glycolic acid if they want to use the product daily. Those are the concentrations that work for daily exfoliation. The 10% is much more likely to benefit you if you use it every other day or every third day. So you don't use it as frequently, but by dialing up the strength a little bit, you're still going to get those fantastic results. So I love the fact they're giving the consumer choice with what they want to purchase, whether you want to go for a daily option or whether you want to go for something which is a little less frequent, depending on what meets your own skincare needs and what fits well into your skincare routine. So that's a real benefit for me. In terms of the other things I'm enjoying about the brand 6 months on, I love the price point. You know, they started really drugstore and affordable. You know, Susan Yara, pre some of the controversy around the start of the launch, actually was a huge name here on YouTube. Obviously, she still is, and she could command a higher price point than what they're charging. So I love the fact that they're keeping it drugstore, they're keeping it affordable. The average cost of one of these products is around the $12 to $14 mark, which I think is super affordable for the quality of formulation you're getting here and the thought that's gone into each of these products. I like the fact that they're still offering various different strengths, so that allows again the consumer to choose the strength which matches their skin type. That goes for the glycolic acid I've just mentioned, and also the niacinamide serums and creams which they offer come in various different strengths, which is really good. I've seen Susan on her channel really promote the idea of matching the strength to your skin type and your skin's needs, and so I'm really glad that the brand she's involved in is kind of living up to that and giving the consumer options. Finally, I also really like the fact that since the controversy around the launch, Susan Yara has been promoting all these products and sharing them with people in full compliance with the regulations in the US where the company and herself are based. You know, I think it's really important as influencers, YouTube creators, whatever you want to call it, that we do abide by full transparency and the laws wherever you happen to be based. So I think it's really good that Susan's learnt from that episode and that issue, and obviously has made steps to correct that and make sure everything is above board and correct since. So they do get a tick in a box for that. Now, in an ideal world, they'd have been doing that from the start, so I'm not saying it's wonderful that now everything's being done in accordance with regulation, but I do think it's really good that lessons have been learned and things have been done properly now. So coming up, those are all the pros and the things which I absolutely love about the brand. Now I'm going to come on to a few things which I still think are drawbacks and things which could be improved in the next 12 months as we approach the year anniversary. For me, shipping is a huge issue when it comes to this company. Now, I don't think you should launch a company and be able to ship worldwide. That is a huge logistical challenge, and I don't think many brands are able to deliver that and still keep up with high levels of customer service. So I don't blame brands for starting small and maybe just shipping to their home country and the territories around them, and then expanding as they become more confident with their shipping and their handling abilities. However, Naturium hasn't actually done that, and they've stuck to just shipping to the US. For the products that I tried in my original video, I actually had to get a friend to ship them from the States to me so I could try them, and anyone that wants to get their hands on these products does have to live in the United States or have a friend kind enough to ship them out to them. I think this is a real shame because Susan Yara and her mixed makeup channel have an international following, and you know, people are keen to get their hands on these products and try them. I would just like to see some more shipping options, you know, going to the larger consumer countries such as Australia, Canada, the UK, Germany, you know, countries which have very similar import and export rules to the US and which it isn't that hard to upscale your shipping operation to be able to deliver to. I don't expect them to be shipping internationally at this point, but I think it's a shame and a drawback for the company that they haven't expanded beyond their home territory of the United States 6 months after the launch. One thing that I am a little bit disappointed with the company for is they do seem to have what I call concentration creep. That's when they start upping the concentration only slightly against what is already available on the market. It is really hard for new launches such as Naturium to differentiate themselves from the other products that are on the market and the other brands which are fitting into their same price demographic. However, brands tend to just do that to create that differentiation by just upping the concentration a little bit. And in the end, you end up with creep, with companies constantly increasing their concentrations, which can lead to products which are just too high a strength for people really to get benefit from. A few examples of that with this brand are their niacinamide serum, which is very similar to the Ordinary, though I actually think in a better formulation. But instead of going for the 10% niacinamide that the Ordinary offer, they went for a 12% niacinamide. So that's just upping the ante, and I think that fundamentally changes the product, because a 12% niacinamide is more likely to give irritation and redness than a 10%, which tends to be applicable to most skin types. You also see that with some of their exfoliating products, which are just a little bit stronger than their competitors. And again, I think that just risks extra sensitivity without delivering too much additional benefit. I don't like to see this concentration creep in any brand, because I think it becomes a little bit challenging when, as consumers, we are naturally programmed to go for the highest strength that we can get, because we want those quick results. We are impatient and we want to get those amazing results fast. So we tend to gravitate towards those higher concentration products. So I always think it's a little bit of a shame when I see companies playing into that. I'm also not a huge fan of this drip feed approach to new product launches. I think it'd be quite difficult to follow. You can often miss some of the new launches, or it can become a little bit confusing. I personally prefer products and brands to just launch products in one go, maybe have once or twice a year have a big product launch, which we can really digest, look at, and work out what products from that launch we want to include in our own routine. This drip feed approach, every 3 weeks a new product, can become a little bit confusing, and I also think it does the company a disservice, because it often looks like they're just trying to cash in on new products, which I don't actually think is the case, but it gives that perception when every 3 weeks we see a new launch. Finally, I am a little bit concerned about the number of products which seem to be repeats of other products in the skincare line with just slight tweaks in the formulation. I call this the Paula's Choice problem. If you ever go on Paula's Choice website, they have some fantastic products, but they seem to have like 1,000,001 different types of toner, 1,000,001 different types of cleanser, and they're all vaguely the same, just with tweaks in the formulation and the strength. That is super confusing for the consumer, and I do worry that Naturium might be going a little bit along those lines when they're introducing new cleansers, introducing new toners, new acids and things like that. I'm all in favour, as I mentioned before, about giving the consumer choice and saying actually 2 strengths of product concentration is not a bad thing. But when you start getting more than that, I think it can become a little bit confusing. And I've seen a creep towards that Paula's Choice approach. I just hope that doesn't become a thing for this brand, because I think going on the website, it's super clear at the moment what you're buying, and some of the new launches are very similar to existing products, which I just hope doesn't become a theme. I believe passionately in second chances. You know, I did a recent video where I called out brands which I used to hate but now actually really enjoy, so I'll leave a link to that there. I'm a big believer in second chances. I personally won't be buying from Naturium going forward, but that's not because of some of the ethical standpoints, that's because they don't ship to the UK. I'm not having a friend in the States having to ship me over every new product that they launch once every 3 weeks. It's just not feasible, and it's not something that I'm willing to do. So I won't personally be purchasing from this brand, but that's more to do with the shipping than the ethics. I fully appreciate you guys if you don't want to continue to purchase from this brand, but the reason I wanted to film this video is A, to give a little bit of an update, and because of all the brands out there in the skincare world, this is the one that probably gets the most questions and comments from the subscribers and the people that leave comments on other videos. So I just thought for you guys, I wanted to tackle it and share my thoughts 6 months in. I'd love to know your thoughts on the brands. Leave me a comment in the comments box below. Share any of their holy grail or fail items, and also whether you're continuing to buy from the brand or this is just a firm miss for you. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.